Hey guys, what's up? You're watching T-Bone's Tech. Now I was going to be doing a review over the camera on the brand new iPhone 6. DxOMark rated the iPhone 6's camera as the best camera they've ever viewed on a mobile phone before. So what's the point of me doing a review over it if we already know that it's the best? So I didn't see a reason for me to do a review on it if everyone knows this iPhone 6 is the best camera. So if you're wondering if this has the best camera, if you want me to compare it to any other phones out there, I'm not going to. But what I am going to do is I'm going to compare it to Canon's entry-level DSLR with a kit lens. So right here we have a Canon Rebel T3, and you can pick this camera up with the 18-55mm kit lens for around $450. So in this video I'm going to be comparing Apple's flagship phone against Canon's cheapest DSLR. First off, the Canon Rebel T3 has a 12 megapixel APS-C size sensor. This camera has 4 million more pixels than the iPhone 6 does, and it has an extremely bigger sensor. Alright, so now I'm going to be talking about the Aperture. If you guys don't know what Aperture is, I am going to leave a link in the description down below, and in that video I completely explained Aperture. But if you don't have time for that, a lower f number is always better than a higher f number when shooting in low lighting situations. The iPhone 6 has a 35mm equivalent of a 35mm lens, and its aperture is f2.2. The Canon Rebel T3 has a maximum aperture of f3.5 when shooting at 18mm, and when zooming out, your fastest available aperture is f5.6. So its aperture is considerably slower than that of the iPhone 6. But like I said earlier, it does have an APS-C size sensor, so sensor is much bigger and is going to be absorbing a lot more light even when shooting at f3.5. The iPhone 6 does not have optical zoom, whereas the Canon Rebel T3 does have optical zoom, so of course the Canon Rebel T3 does win in that category. Then I'm going to be talking about screen size and resolution. The Canon Rebel T3 has a 3-inch screen with a not so good resolution, and the iPhone 6 has a 4.7-inch screen with a much more pixel dense, better display. Now talking about video, the resolution that the Canon Rebel T3 shoots is 720p, and the resolution that the iPhone 6 shoots is 1080p. Alright, so now I have all the pictures that were taken with the Canon Rebel T3 and all the pictures that were taken with the iPhone 6 pulled up on my computer, and if you look at the bottom right corner, it's going to say which camera it was taken. I tried to line these pictures up with both cameras as evenly as possible, so they are going to be a little bit off, but basically they're going to be the exact same. Alright, so the first picture was taken with my Canon Rebel T3, and I zoomed out all the way to 55mm so I could get a nice bokeh or background blur in the picture. So as you can see, the subject is nice in focus and the background is nicely blurred. Now moving on to the same picture taken with the iPhone 6. Now because I didn't have any optical zoom, I literally had to move my iPhone 6's camera very close to this flower, and unfortunately that meant I didn't get a nice bokeh. So as you can see, the background is very distracting. The colors are still good, but the background is very distracting, and I have to say it's a much worse picture than the picture taken with the Canon Rebel T3. Alright, so these next two pictures are a flash test. So I used the built-in flash on my iPhone 6 and the built-in flash in my Canon Rebel T3. So as you can see, the picture isn't too good, but it is potentially usable. Now the picture with the Canon Rebel T3 using the built-in flash on the Canon Rebel T3 doesn't really look too much better. If anything, it looks a little bit washed out. The subject is nicely lit, but the background is very bright. This all comes down to personal preference, whether you like the iPhone 6's colors better or the Canon Rebel T3. I'm going to let you guys decide. Alright, so this next picture was taken with the iPhone 6's picture of this pumpkin, and it seems to look pretty good on the iPhone 6's camera. And here's the picture taken with the Canon Rebel T3. And I have to say, the picture looks much better on the iPhone 6 than it does on the Canon Rebel T3. So in this particular picture, the iPhone 6 wins. Alright, so here's a lovely picture of this flower that was taken with the Canon Rebel T3. Now keep in mind, I did not manually focus on the Canon Rebel T3, and I did not tap to focus on the iPhone 6. So all these pictures are going to be examples of how good the autofocusing system is in both of these cameras. So as you can see in this picture right here, the Canon Rebel T3 really nailed that focus. The background is beautifully blurred and the subject is perfectly in focus. I think the Canon Rebel T3 did a great job at finding the focus in this picture. Now I can't say so much with the iPhone 6. The iPhone 6 actually back focused this image. It focused on the background instead of the actual subject. So of course this picture is going to look 100 times worse. You can't even really compare the first picture that was taken with the Canon Rebel T3 compared to this picture of the iPhone 6. So this is definitely a win for the Canon Rebel T3. So overall, I have to say the Canon Rebel T3 is the better camera, which was expected, but in some areas, the iPhone 6 actually does outperform the Canon Rebel T3, which is very impressive. This test really does prove that the iPhone 6 is a very capable camera. So, thank you guys for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to hit that like button down below, and of course subscribe to my channel because then you'll be notified when I release new videos to my YouTube channel. If you are interested in buying the Canon Rebel T3, I'll leave a link in the description down below where you can pick it up on Amazon from anywhere to $400 to $450. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you liked it, make sure to give me a thumbs up down below, and of course make sure to subscribe to my channel because then you'll be notified when I release new videos to my YouTube channel.